Good evening from San Ignacio Town. With the 9 o'clock news, I am Patrick Jones. In the headlines, Prime Minister holds a press conference in Belmopan. Commonwealth Secretary General completes visit to Belize, and 5 murders reported over the holiday weekend. Stay tuned for details of these and other stories coming up after these messages.
My dad never misses a football match.
Me neither.
Are you enjoying this game or what?
I'm loving every minute of it.
I can't miss this game, but I can't see it either.
Here, now you can. The game's on me.
Now, wherever there's internet, you don't have to miss a single minute of TV. And the best part of My TV is it costs as little as $10 monthly for Central TV and Internet's customers. With 25 channels at your fingertips, you'll always be tuned in. My TV is available only at Central TV and Internet. Log on and discover a new world of mobile TV.
Hey, do you happen to have a beer?
Here now is the news in details. I planned a trip to the Sarstoon River on Saturday to mark the anniversary of the 1859 Boundary Treaty by the Belize Territorial Volunteers did not happen after all. Security forces deployed early on Saturday morning prevented dozens of Belizeans from boarding boats in Barranco Village that were destined for the Sarstoon, which was placed under a temporary restriction on Friday by the government of Belize. Organizers of the failed expedition found out from early that the trip was in jeopardy when authorities began clamping down on the vessels that were hired to take people on the trip. When everyone was assembled in Barranco, they were denied access to the pier by the police and Coast Guard officers, who at one point claimed that the structure was not safe. Senator Valerie Woods arrived via private boat in Barranco just before 10 a.m. on Saturday, and in an interview with the media, expressed surprise at what she was witnessing. Senator Woods says she denounces the statutory instrument which imposed a 1-month travel ban on the Belize side of the Sarstoon River. She says that she does not believe that the government needed to go that far, and says that Belizeans should be allowed to visit the Sarstoon. Furthermore, Senator Woods says that it is unfair that the same draconian measure is not being equally applied to non-Belizeans conducting illegal activities in Belize's territorial waters. The statutory instrument that Senator Woods referred to was signed on Friday by Governor General Sir Colville Young, bringing into force a regulation that prohibits Belizeans from traversing the Belize side of the Sarstoon River for a month without legal authority. The regulation carries a penalty of $2,000 and/or a prison term of 12 months or both for anyone who breaks the law. The opposition People's United Party has come out against the government's imposition of the temporary ban on Belizeans' entry into the Sarstoon River for a month. A press release from the PUP calls Friday's statutory instrument a draconian measure, which the party does not support. PUP leader John Briceño, according to the press release, informed Prime Minister Dean Barrow of the opposition's position during a meeting on Friday. The PUP says that this move by government is a retrograde and highly prejudicial step, and notes that it could be viewed as acquiescence by Belize to Guatemala's assertion of sovereignty over the entire Sarstoon. The PUP believes that the restriction has the potential to embolden Guatemala and harden its resolve to assert sovereignty over the entire Sarstoon. The opposition wants government to declare whether the regulation is applicable equally to Guatemalans who enter Belize's portion of the Sarstoon River, and calls on government to immediately rescind the unpatriotic regulation. The PUP is also concerned that the regulation does not take into consideration the impact the law will have on Belizeans who navigate the Belize portion of the Sarstoon for their livelihood. In the wake of Saturday's blockade of the BTV from going to the Sarstoon, Prime Minister Dean Barrow this afternoon explained that stopping the Belize territorial volunteers from going on the planned trip to the Sarstoon River on Saturday was the right thing to do by government. The Prime Minister, speaking at a press conference in Belmopan this afternoon, further stated that if no diplomatic solution is reached between Belize and Guatemala regarding the Sarstoon within the 1-month period of the restriction, then all bets are off, and government will not stop the BTV from going to the Sarstoon River.
BTV refused to call off their expedition. As a result, and in keeping with government's responsibility to do everything to safeguard the national interest and Belizean lives, we procured passage of a regulation under the Public Safety Act. That regulation prohibited civilian entry without official permission into Belize's portion of the Sarstoon. And when the BTV nevertheless attempted to set out for the Sarstoon on Saturday, we stopped them. Government is in no doubt that it was the right thing to do. We made clear, and repeat today, that our actions were one-off. The regulation will remain in force for only 1 month, during which time we will redouble our efforts to secure a guarantee regarding the Sarstoon. If those efforts do not succeed, then all bets are off. We will not again stop the BTV from going to that portion of the Sarstoon that belongs to Belize. And our ownership, as recognized and demarcated by the 1859 treaty, can never be in doubt. In the normal course, therefore, all Belizeans do have a perfect right to traverse our half of the Sarstoon.
The Prime Minister also explained that stopping the BTV from going to the Sarstoon, which could have sparked a potential confrontation, was in support of Belize's broader diplomatic efforts to arrive at a peaceful resolution of the threat by Guatemala.
You are all aware of last week's resolution of the 79 African, Caribbean and Pacific states, the ACP, in support of Belize's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The Commonwealth Secretary General, Baroness Scotland, was also very forthright in reiterating her organization's position that Guatemala must respect our 1859 borders. Baroness Scotland will now convene a meeting of the Commonwealth Standing Committee on Belize so that they might step up their monitoring of the Belize-Guatemala situation. Then on Friday in Freeport, Bahamas, our foreign minister got support for us from CARICOM and from the United Kingdom. Belizeans should note that these results so far make clear that our position, our cause, is understood and accepted by the international community. In other words, they know that our security personnel came under attack yet again this time under cover of darkness, from Guatemalan civilians squarely in our territory. They know that these civilians were engaged in their continuing illegal activity, which in the Chiquibul alone has cost this country tens of millions of dollars in plundered resources and environmental degradation. They know that the BDF, small in number, strapped for resources, and facing almost impossible odds, continues to wage a heroic struggle to protect and preserve Belizean patrimony. The international community knows, to sum it all simply up, that Belize has the right in this matter. Still, our diplomatic work proceeds and there will be no let-up. Thus it is that our foreign minister has been dispatched directly from the Bahamas to Washington, where we have succeeded, with the help of the Americans, in arranging a number of meetings. These are with the OAS, with the State Department, and that meeting with the State Department took place at 11 Washington time this morning. It was with the Undersecretary of State, Ambassador Shannon, who I believe is the number 2 to Kerry. So there was that meeting this morning at 11, and another meeting takes place just about now, perhaps started maybe an hour or so ago. That was scheduled for 4 Washington time, a bilateral meeting between Belize and Guatemala. All the talks, we meet tomorrow with the OAS Secretary General Almagro. I'm sorry, no, we also met with Almagro this afternoon. That was before the bilateral with Guatemala. Tomorrow, the Guatemalans meet with Undersecretary Shannon. They also meet with the OAS Secretary General. And then in the afternoon, there's a tripartite meeting among Belize, Guatemala, and the OAS. Now, in all this, the issue that looms largest is the SARS 2. Foreign Minister Elrington is accompanied by Ambassador Alexis Rosado, Ambassador Pat Andrews, and National Security CEO Colonel George Dunn. Clearly then, ladies and gentlemen, we continue to pursue all means to dispel any threat from Guatemala and to secure an international diplomatic shield for Belize's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Foreign Minister Elrington will report to the nation as soon as he gets back. Thank you.
As Prime Minister Dean Barrow explained, the latest escalation in tensions between Belize and Guatemala stemmed from the Cebada incident of April 20th, in which a Guatemalan child was killed in the Chiquibul. And while the opposition People's United Party has gone on record denouncing the 1-month restriction to the Sarstoon imposed on Friday, today the party went further in rolling out measures it will be taking to address its concerns regarding the statutory instrument, which the PUP has dubbed the Sarstoon Law. At a press conference this morning in Belize City, the PUP released a 5-point plan of action that includes a call on government to immediately rescind what it calls the unjust Sarstoon Law. Second, the PUP says that it now considers the united national effort to address Guatemala's unfounded claim to Belize as suspended, since the government went ahead by unilaterally imposing the restrictions on the movement of Belizeans on the Sarstoon River. The National Executive and the Parliamentary Caucus of the PUP have also authorized the party's legal advisor to file a constitutional challenge to the Sarstoon Law. But aside from the legal challenge to the Sarstoon Law, the PUP's National Executive and its parliamentarians will mount a physical challenge to the law by going to the Sarstoon. Exactly when that planned trip to the Sarstoon will take place has not been announced. The 5th point on the PUP's plan of action is a national campaign, which it calls the liberation of the Sarstoon and resistance to the Sarstoon Law. To this effect, the PUP is calling on the churches, unions, the business community, civil society, community groups, and other political parties to join in this national campaign. You're watching the 9 o'clock news. We will have more of the day's stories for you right after these messages.
Indigenous Production presents to you Ras India. It's truly one of a kind. One of a kind. One of a kind.
Available in stores worldwide. There ain't no other.
Big love from London. We love the album. I was living in Ethiopia.
I'm from Mexico and I love this one of a kind city.
We love one of a kind. Big up Ras India from Belize. One love. I like it.
I'm here from Australia. Big up Ras India, one of a kind. Woo.
I'm Angel. I'm from Canada, Alberta, and I love this new CD.
廣東話好音樂，本地製作，支持。
Buy it now.
Download it on Amazon and iTunes now.
Available in stores countrywide.
Learn to love yourself before you love somebody else. Remember when things get tough, hold on tight and don't give up. Keep your moral values up. Don't let nobody set you up. They can always take my bling, I can always lose my fame, but then knowledge in my brain.
Welcome back to the 9 o'clock news. Commonwealth Secretary General Patricia Scotland has declared her intention to call an urgent meeting of the Ministerial Committee on the Belize-Guatemala border dispute. According to a press release from the Commonwealth Secretariat, the Commonwealth Ministerial Committee on Belize is expected to meet months before their scheduled September forum to discuss recent troubling developments in the boundaries disagreement. The group of 8 foreign ministers, chaired by Barbados, was created by the heads of governments in 1977. The Commonwealth press release says that the decision to bring forward their meeting was made after Secretary General Scotland met with Governor General Sir Colville Young, Prime Minister Dean Barrow, Opposition Leader Johnny Brisenia, and other ministers and senior officials during her just concluded visit to Belize. In his meeting with the Secretary General, Prime Minister Barrow said that Guatemala's continuing claim to Belize's territory is an existential threat to Belize, and that Belize is absolutely committed to resolving the dispute peacefully. Secretary General Scotland reaffirmed the commitment made by the Commonwealth's 53 governments at their 2015 summit to fully support Belize's sovereignty and territorial integrity. There was a total of 5 murders committed over the holiday weekend, 4 of them in the Cayo district. The first 2 homicides were recorded in Santa Elena town on Saturday evening. And coming out of that incident, a 31-year-old man who is the prime suspect is under police guard at the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital in Belize City. An official police report says that the man is listed in a critical condition. The victims of the double homicide have been identified as 39-year-old Miriam Mai and 29-year-old Daisy Miralda. Police say that the suspect, identified as Andy Bustillos, who works as a security guard, was found on the floor inside of Betty's Beauty Salon with an apparent gunshot wound to the right side of his head. Police say their initial investigation shows that Mai and Miralda were with customers around 5:30 p.m. on Saturday when Bustillos arrived with a bag which he offered to Mai. Investigators say that Mai refused the bag from the suspect, and that was when he grabbed her by the neck, took out a black pistol and shot Mai. Police say that when Meralda intervened, she was shot to the forehead. According to police reports, the customers who were inside of the establishment at the time of the shooting escaped unhurt. Police say that at the scene, they were able to recover 4 expended 9mm shells, 3 live rounds of the same caliber ammunition, 3 complete slugs, 1 fragmented slug, and a 9mm pistol. The bodies of Daisy Meralda and Miriam Mai now await a post-mortem examination. In the aftermath of the double homicide on Saturday evening, friends and family of the victims held a candlelight vigil on Monday night at Betty's Beauty Salon, where the tragic incident occurred.
Tonight we had a special vigil for Mrs. Betty Mai and Miss Daisy as well. Double murder that occurred this weekend, Saturday. It's sad for us and for the families. At this time, it's even more sad for the town of Santa Elena and even San Ignacio. The families and friends decided to meet tonight and offer this vigil and pray for their souls. Mrs. Betty had been a dear friend to us, a good businesswoman, a dedicated businesswoman, and of course a mother to 3 lovely children. As well, Miss Daisy, who has been her helper throughout at the business here at the salon, has been, she was very jovial. We would like to thank you, Mr. Pandy, and all the friends and customers, her dear customers who are here tonight with us, for taking the time out to be a part of this vigil. And of course, it's a sad moment and a sad time for us. Personally, I was at the business when she did my pedicure, so I left at about an hour before the murder occurred. And it's even more sad for me because she was a dear friend and of course as well a woman who was a motivator to me. I saw her as a strong individual who kept working hard at her salon and made us very happy. Tonight it is indeed a sad moment for us, and we pray and we know that Miss Betty will definitely be with her Father in heaven. She was a very good woman, a very good friend, and a great mother to her children.
If you should confront this guy, what message would you like to tell him?
Yeah, this time I really don't want to comment on that end. All I can say, I can pray for him because he passed that same very evening, and he said, he looked at me and he smiled and he said, "Miss Vani." I said, "Yes, sir, Mr. Andy. Good evening." That's all I said, not knowing that he was heading here to the business.
24 hours after the murders in Santa Elena town, the Cayo district will record its second double murder. It happened on Sunday evening in Camalota village and claimed the lives of 24-year-old Akeem Timbrell and 25-year-old Sean Lopez. Police say that around 7:20 on Sunday night, Timbrell and Lopez were walking on a street in Camalota village when they were fatally wounded. Police say that a pickup truck stopped beside the men and that someone fired several shots at them. Timbrell was pronounced dead about 20 minutes after the shooting, while Lopez was pronounced dead about an hour later at the Western Regional Hospital in Belmopan. Their bodies now await a post-mortem examination. Belmopan police say they have since detained a man and a woman pending investigations. The 5th murder of the long holiday weekend happened in Belize City on Saturday evening. The victim has been identified as 38-year-old Glenn Williams. Police say that around 5:19 on Saturday evening, Williams was traveling on Central American Boulevard on a motorcycle when he was shot by an assailant in a vehicle that was traveling in the same direction. Williams was shot to the neck, shoulder, and back and died a short time later. Police investigations continue. Police constables Astrid Jones and Alan Coleman have been given citations as Officers of the Month for April 2016. Both constables are attached to the San Ignacio Police Station and were cited during a public ceremony at the end of April.
I'm very appreciative knowing the hard work that we have put in and the support from our supervisor, Mr. Capra Medina. We feel very appreciative once again.
Now we know that they select you. What advice would you like to give to a colleague?
Do better than I did. On a daily basis, saying every Friday I go deliver food to elderly people. Every monthly I give her groceries and things like that. Strive to be better than I did.
Well, I honestly really didn't expect it, but it's a real opportunity for all the hard work that we're doing here in San Ignacio. Visiting the business, home visit, and the community has a well response to each and every one of us police officers here at San Ignacio.
What advice would you give to the other police?
Well, I would tell them that despite the weather, the bad advice that the community give us out there and negative name, just continue push on, and unfortunately, you see the best of it. Like I said, man, I really didn't expect it. All the hard work and everything do really pays off.
This is the news on TNC. Coming up, a cold front is expected to bring some relief from the hot temperatures. We'll take a look at the weather after these messages.
Indigenous Production presents to you Ras India.
It's truly one of a kind.
One of a kind.
One of a kind.
Available in stores worldwide. There ain't no other.
Big love from London. We love the album. I was living in Ethiopia.
I'm from Mexico and I love this one-of-a-kind city.
We love one of a kind. Big up Ras India from Belize. One love. I like it.
I'm here from Australia. Big up Francino, one of a kind. Woo.
I'm Angel. I'm from Canada, Alberta, and I love this new CD.
廣東話好音樂，本地製作，支持。
Buy it now.
Download it on Amazon and iTunes now.
Available in stores countrywide.
My dad never misses a football match.
Me neither.
Are you enjoying this game or what?
I'm loving every minute of it.
I can't miss this game, but I can't see it either.
Here, now you can. The game's on me.
Now, wherever there's internet, you don't have to miss a single minute of TV. And the best part of my TV is it costs as little as $10 monthly for Central TV and Internet's customers. With 25 channels at your fingertips, you'll always be tuned in. My TV is available only at Central TV and Internet. Log on and discover a new world of mobile TV.
Hey, do you happen to have a beer?
Mainly fair, warm and dry conditions continue to dominate our weather, but a slight change is on the way as a weak cold front approaches the country. The general forecast for Belize and her coastal waters is for partly cloudy skies tonight. Little or no rainfall is expected. Tomorrow will be mostly sunny and warm. Winds are easterly to southeasterly at 5 to 15 knots. The sea state is choppy to moderate. Lower temperatures at dawn will be around 79 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 73 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and 70 degrees Fahrenheit up in the hills. High temperatures on Wednesday will be around 90 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 98 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and 84 degrees Fahrenheit up at the exposed areas of the mountain Pine Ridge and along the Maya Mountains in the south. The tides. A high tide is now occurring. This will be followed by a low tide at 22 minutes to 2 o'clock in the morning. The sun will rise at 25 minutes past 5 o'clock in the morning. It will set at 14 minutes past 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. The extended forecast, valid through to Thursday, is for an increase in showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday night as a weak cold front approaches the country. And that is a look at the weather with information provided by forecaster Ronald Gordon at the Belize Weather Bureau. To finalize the news, here are the main points again. Prime Minister holds press conference in Belmopan. Commonwealth Secretary General completes visit to Belize, and 5 murders reported over the holiday weekend. With the headlines, we end this edition of the 9 o'clock news. Thank you for joining us. I am Patrick Jones. Have a good evening and a good night.